Hey, I'm really sorry about the audio quality that you can be listening to in the interview I did with my team member, Michael. The thing is, it's a really good interview if you're looking at getting started in your first investment property and you don't know where to begin. We tried to hide the audio humming with some music. Hopefully it's not too annoying. But thanks for listening and stay tuned. Hey guys, Kenneth here, I'm here, and today I'm joined by my colleague, Michael Ng from the Broadway Avenue Group, and we're talking about steps to getting your first investment property. So let's assume that you already have your house and you're looking to, or maybe you don't have one yet, but you're looking into getting started into investing. What would you do? What would you do, Michael?
Honestly, the thought of it scares me because it's a long-term play and it's a big commitment. I think the very first thing I would want to do once I've made that conscious decision to invest in real estate is to really boil down why I want to do it. What am I trying to get out of it? Do you have any advice for me? Like, what should I be thinking about?
Well, I'm just trying to picture you with your clients that you're working with right now. Ask them why are they doing it. So it might be that they're saving for their kids' future. Mm-hmm. They're looking for their own retirement. It can be another way to supplement their income. They maybe don't like their day job and they just want to find a quick way to get out of that. Yeah. Or not quick. Maybe eventually they find the way out of that. But it takes time. You're absolutely right. It's a long-term game, and it's like planting your seeds now. The way I look at it, for my motivation personally, is because I think money's deflating. I honestly think it's deflating with the amount of printing that's going on, with the amount of stimulus and modern money theory, all that kind of stuff, right? Everything's just getting more expensive. And this is my hedge against inflation.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, that does affect me personally because I've been thinking about this a lot. I've got a kid, and I don't want him to have to pay $100 for a piece of bread in 20 years.
Not even that. Like, how are they going to find their own place to live? You know what I mean? Later on. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm worried about that.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's a big concern. So I guess if I were thinking about it, I'd probably want to build some sort of equity for future generations, not necessarily something for myself.
Right. So I know it kind of goes down to your big why, and you hear that term thrown around a lot, right? And no one really knows what their big why is until maybe later on. But for most people, I think that's really powerful if you really look deep down inside and ask yourself, because it's a big sacrifice. It's a big sacrifice. Like we were just talking offline about saying how you needed a new car, and you have your car currently paid off, which is cool. Yeah, it's awesome. But you kind of need a new car, and they don't last forever.
Yeah, and it stresses me out because that's cash I'm spending on a new car that could be going to either an investment property or multiple investment properties. Cars aren't cheap.
No, I know, and it's not easy to save for the down payment for sure. So it goes down to really asking yourself, why do you really want this, and do you really want it bad enough? The sun is shining outside and it's so nice, and I know the restaurants are just opening up, so it's like exciting to just go there and just spend that money and just splash, because we haven't had an opportunity to do so, right?
Yeah.
But if you stay the course, don't eat that avocado toast. I'm just saying, go out there and really look deep down inside and figure out if you really want this.
Yeah. And so with that in mind, let's say I've already decided, make that conscious decision that I'm going to invest in real estate. I'm going to commit myself for a long period of time. What can I do next in my plan?
Okay, well, what's the scenario? Give me some hypothetical scenarios.
So let's put my real life situation in play. I have a kid. He's only 2 now, and I want him to have some sort of financial security when he's older.
Dude, this is the perfect time to start thinking about that. I'm so glad you asked this question. I'm seriously glad. Because if you think about it, how long is a typical residential mortgage?
About anywhere from 25 to 30 years to amortize?
Yeah, 25 years. So if you do a 25-year amortization, he's 2 now. By the time he's 27, the place will be completely paid off. Yeah. Just buying anything. Just buy anything. What's an average condo right now in downtown Toronto?
Anywhere from $600 to $700 for a small.
Like $730,000 for a 1-bedroom condo, or for an average condo, right? Yeah. Imagine if that was paid off and that was gifted to him.
Yeah.
By the time he's 25, 26, 27, something like that. And it doesn't have to be completely paid off, right? Like you could take 50% of that equity or whatever it is, $300,000. That'll pay for his education, his car, his first wedding, his trip, his graduation trip. Yeah. A big present that you're gonna give him. Right? So, think about that.
The condo's not the present?
Well, a condo could be part of it, but it could be the down payment of a condo. You might not want to give him a 25-year-old condo. Yeah. Right? He might not want to live in it, but he definitely he'd definitely appreciate the equity out of that. Yeah. To put on his down payment, so that and give him some responsibility and give him a leg up in life, right? To start.
Yeah.
which a lot of people don't have, and a lot of people aren't thinking of these things. And I get it, man. It's totally hard when kids are young, because like life is stressful, and you're trying to work, and you're trying to do everything. You're trying to pay for their education and daycare and medical bills or whatever, right? Like maybe not medical bills. We're in Canada, so we're very lucky. But you know what I mean? There's things that you got to sacrifice. A lot of things you got to sacrifice.
Yeah.
But if you do plant that seed in 25 years, just think about the opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've been thinking about for a really long time. And one of the problems is one, cash flow. And two, I'd say affordability. Right now, things are getting more and more expensive, and it's difficult to stick with a plan. Do you have any advice for our listeners on what they can do and what strategies they can do to follow through?
Yeah, for sure. So if anybody listening is the same situation that you're in right now, in the same boat, and you're thinking about how you're gonna, you have your house, you have things going on, but you just don't have the 120. The average price, let's call it 600,000. It's probably closer to 700,000, but just call it 600,000. So 20% down is $120,000, right? So how are you gonna come up with that? I think the first step is to think of a plan on how to do that. Pre-construction does make it easy if you're buying a condo, because you can put the payments stagger over 2.5, 4 years, something like that, depending on the builder, depending on the project. But let's call it over 4 years, right? You can always take a line of credit out of your current house that you have and slowly pay that off and make that up over the 4 years, right? It gives you that edge of time. However, the problem with it is that I know it's expensive. Pre-construction is expensive. You look at these sticker prices, you're thinking you're going to get a one bedroom for $600,000. It's not going to happen. The average price per square foot in downtown Toronto is $1,400 a square foot now. Oof. Right? So let's call it $750,000 is where you want to be. You edge yourself a little bit higher. Then you just got to make it up over the 4 years, really. And that's how you get started. It's like the easy button.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that definitely helps me narrow down certain things, and it's something that I have to actually put into action, because we can talk about it all day, but if I don't act on it, then this is all just for nothing.
Yeah, because before you know it, a blink of an eye, a year goes by.
Yeah.
Right? Especially at our age now. It's just, my age anyway. But a year goes by just really quickly. And so if you don't take that action and just take that first step, it's really hard.
Yeah, and it feels like that way, especially with the buyers that we've been working with, because from the start of 2019, and then when we went through COVID up until this year, it's sort of a recurring theme that we're seeing.
What's that?
The difficulty of entering the market when people have expected prices to maybe adjust a little bit.
Yeah, I know it's scary in the beginning of the pandemic, where you're insecure about your job, you're not sure what's going to happen, you're thinking your income's going to be cut in like quarter to or be slashed to zero, even, for that matter.
Yeah.
Right. So it's hard to make that move. And then people are thinking, oh, is the bottom going to fall down even lower? Is it going to go down even lower? Well, you know what? We hit the bottom already, and it's starting to pick up again. Everyone's starting to get vaccinated. People are starting to return to work, and things are beautiful. It's summertime, So I just think there's no better time than today. It's hard to get started. It's hard to have that down payment ready to go.
Yeah.
So if you don't have it, you got to start saving for it. If you don't have it, you don't have the discipline to save for it, buy pre-construction.
Yeah.
Probably a good way to do that. Now, let's just say if you already have a couple pre-construction condos, or a couple condos for that matter, what do you do next?
Right? Oh, that's a really good question.
So what I've taught people to do, and what I'm doing personally, is starting to convert that equity into either you go to freehold, you buy a couple single family homes, or look at dual family, duplexes, triplexes, multiplexes, or even a small building, which is, I know, difficult, or commercial. Commercial's a little bit. Anyway, I'm getting all over the map right now, right? But like commercial is really different because the cash flow might be a little bit hard.
Yeah.
It could be hard, it could not be hard. And there's also development, right? That's a little more advanced. So let's start with, if you have a few condos and you're looking to trade up, then I would say probably go to a triplex. Duplex or triplex, probably the best way to do it.
Yeah. That sounds like a solid strategy, especially because you're used to thinking about rentals being an apartment of some sort. So when you're dealing with a multiplex or a triplex, you're dealing with many of the same type of apartments throughout. Would you recommend hiring a property manager in my case? Say if I were to buy a multiplex now.
Well, not for you, because I guess you do this every day of your life, so you could do it. Now the problem is you're limited with your time. So I know, like, there's bedtime routines and stuff like that, and like with your kid, it's hard. Yeah. I get it, right? So yeah, we would rely on third-party people. In fact, we have I use my own property manager, our own property management services, because I need it.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I was 20, 25 years old, not 25, That's when I got my first property. When things happened, I went there with a drill and started fixing things myself. But now there's just no time for that, unfortunately. Yeah. So yes, I would absolutely rely on property management. You can budget anywhere from 5 to 10% of the annual revenue towards property management. In our case, it's a little bit less because we make it we make it more affordable for people to get into management,
right?
Property management, so it's like your headaches are off your plate, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean that really helps a lot. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm sure my situation applies to a lot of other people, and it's all about taking that big step.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving you a lot to think about. And I know we weren't supposed to go into talking about your situation, but I'm just saying that it's hard to take that sacrifice. You should start thinking about it, I think. And I guess for our clients that are already working with, they're doing the same thing. They're thinking about it. A lot of people are in the same boat. And there's no better way to get started and no better time to get started than today. Add it up.